Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Oh, did I bring my socks on? Yikes. Questions I ask, guys. Let's have some tea. All right. Do you know what else I forgot to do? Hang on. Do you know what else I forgot to do? I know what else I forgot to do. Guys, I updated NVDA and then it turned off because it wanted to, do a restart. And I thought that was a very good idea. Forgot to reopen it. So let's turn NVDA on. Yes, I know. Done, done, excellent. Did I spell that wrong? I so did. All right, the question becomes, did I do this right? Can everybody see this? Now everybody can see this. Can we always do checks? Hellos. I got the windows open because it's so nice outside, so we're gonna have some extra background noise today. But I clicked public. Did it work? Why do you ask this? Because AI has been aggressive. Nope, good. No, it says we're good. It's just my chat's not loading. That's nice. Thanks, chat. Chat, why you no load? Question of the hour. I want the whole beast. Oh my God. Sandy, hello, love. Yes, it is very warm. Very, very warm. Stop that. Do you know what we should do? No, we shouldn't do anything. I We are in black and white. I don't know what I did to do that. So I don't know how to fix it. Hang on, give me a second. I've been arguing with the AI garbage and everything under the sun is insistent that what you want is some moron in your computer doing stuff. I'm like, if I wanted an idiot in here messing around with things, I'd ask a man for help. And since I have not done that, I don't require the assistance. Let's see if we can figure out. No, no. Oh, it's because I'm on the wrong button. I want this button. Nope. There we go. Readjust. Excellent. Are we in color now? Okay, that looks better. Why did you do that? Oh, the AI's like, oh, I'll do some stuff for you. I'm like, how about you don't do stuff for me? And you turn, I swear to the gods. It was a man who designed AI. It had to have been. Downside. All right. Now, are we in color now? I think we're in color now. We look different than we looked before. Hopefully we're in color. I gotta wait a few seconds because I talk to you guys and it's about a 10 to 20 second delay before you guys see stuff. So I await confirmation that we've adjusted to color. Mostly because I can't really tell the difference between the finished object I'm wearing and my chair. My chair is gray, my shirt is green. So I just and if I look at the screen to see what I'm doing, the screen I see is the YouTube screen, so I'm 20 seconds behind anything I'm talking about. Oh, that's beautiful. So good. So good. Oh, I love tech. I am gonna have to stop. Stop. Holy jeepers. Okay. Scroll down. So I'm not getting distracted. We got color? Thank you, Sandy. Close down. Close down. Enough. I want no volume. No, I don't. You know what? Fine. There we go. No. Why? I hate you. And down. Tech is not designed enough by women. Okay. We have color. We've got things going in theory. Yikes. Let's open up this. My over here. Guess I am aware. Thank you. God, you guys are so lucky you don't have to hear everything I hear. You would go crazy. I want you to open, please. Yeah, I know. It's because I moved. I'm aware, computer. There we go. In theory, we're better. Stop. Stop. Thank you. I want to, I'm adjusting my Zoom meeting window so that I can see what's going on. Okay. Nothing is running smoothly today. That's just how that's going to go. Oh, I can't even do that. Guys, we have a lot of cast-ons to talk about today. If I could ever get NVDA to stop talking to me, we'll be good to go. It's a Sunday. It is the 8th of March. Let's attempt a podcast now that I've been fiddling with tech and it still doesn't want to work right. Background noise today brought to you by Open Windows. Open Windows byproduct of it's warm for March. I don't remember what the temperature's supposed to be up to today. We're in the low Celsius range and it's early. It's not as early as it was in like February, but it's still too early. It's too early for slush. And that's all spring is. Yeah, Winnipeg's 4 degrees. I don't know if that's like our high for the day, but we're 4 degrees right now, which I find offensively warm. But I don't like summer or spring, so we are, as they say, leaving the good seasons behind and we're entering the seasons of dread and tribulation. Quite frankly, their only purpose is to make fresh vegetables for me and then they can go away. Oh gosh, I don't know if you guys have noticed, we're doing a lot of posts on the Instagrams and on the YouTubes here. We've been doing a bunch of voting for projects. That's the project I forgot. Guys, I forgot to bring in the sewing fabric. That's what we're doing. Hey, Susanna. Hi, Melanie. I got one earbud for my phone and I got one earbud for my computer, and they're both talking to me. Let's talk with things that I have accomplished from the previous weeks, and let's get the boring stuff done first, shall we? I did not work on my Choose Your Own Adventure sweater yet again. I think I've worked on that sweater so much that the idea of picking it up causes my soul to leave my body, animated style. Um, I don't know when that's going to stop, but I cannot force myself to work on projects if I don't want to. So praise be to the poor testers who are stuck dealing with my butt and my vibe check mood swing crafting skill set, because I am not consistent. And I certainly acknowledge that about myself. It's 8 degrees. Gross. I'm so sorry, Melanie. That's just tragic. Just tragic. Guys, remember, I don't like spring and I hate summer. All caps, full on, flip the table, have a moment, toddler-sized meltdown in the grocery store, dislike summer. I hates it. 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 I endure it because I'm told it's something we have to go through every year. But from about this point onward, I am a moody jerk about it because we're going to spend the next 6 months. What do you figure? April will be slushy. April's usually not too bad, but about early May most years we've been seeing 30-degree heat. So like what we got May, June, July, August. There's still 30-degree heat in September. Last year it went into October. So I've got like 5 or 6 months where I will spend every day feeling as sick as though I had a stomach flu bug. And that's a good day. So next 5 months is brutal for me. So my apologies for everybody else who has to go through spring and summer. I'm so sorry. The only perk is that we get vegetables, even though I feel like me, you're too sick to eat them for the most part. So, oh, just me and the tech gremlins, Nikki. Nothing else much. Because we are closing in on the end of the 10 days of Cast On, there's a lot of new projects to talk about this week and reading of patterns that have happened this week and the joy I've discovered with some of the voting. I did, however, get a finish. I am wearing it. I finished my second wood woes. Ooh. It's not on the needles, it's on the person. The ends are not woven in. It has not been washed and blocked. You got finished. The end got secured. The yarn got snapped, and it went on my person. And then it came off my person because I had checked to make sure that it fit, and I put it on the coffee table, and that's where it's lived all week. So this is Woodwose the second down. It is beyond tempting to just put another Woodwose on the needle. I so thoroughly enjoy this lemon fingering weight sweater. There might be more of them in my future because I might just end up making it the staple sweater I always have on the go, right? Like the vanilla socks we all make. This might just become that sweater for me. I'm not 100% sure. But we have a finish at least, which is good because there was a new cast on for the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and I haven't posted for today yet. Why? Because I am the drama, and I want to get your guys' opinion before I do the post because I'm waffling on a decision, and I think you guys can help me out with it. For the first, I decided we were going to start with some socks. I have my socks here somewhere. Oh my God, Faye just been helping again. Oh, Lord. Lord Almighty. I needed a green project for the month because the Fiber Friends are doing their challenge, and their challenge this month was just a color. Love it. Fun to see. So I was like, okay, we'll make it a vote. So I put up the final skein of I Am Bork from Fireweed Fiber Co. that I had for the sweater because it turns out if I make elbow length sleeves, I only need 3 skeins per sweater. But if I make full length sleeves, I need 4 skeins. I knew knitting sleeves was more than I thought it was. I didn't realize it was that much more. Oh my God. Either way, I took the last skein of sock yarn because I sock yarn. Fingering weight yarn, it tends to be sock yarn or cashmere. This tends to be the way I go. This is sock yarn. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to make a pair of socks. There's green in this color. It'll count for green socks. And I get to keep knitting in this fun I Am Bork colorway, which I super thoroughly enjoy. But I needed toes and heel cast on helps. So I was like, okay, I posted 2 colors for toes, heels, and cuffs. Everybody voted for this nice, sickly, limey kind of green color. This is actually a gift from a Patreon member that got sent out because she knows I love Halloween colors. So that, and I have made a cast on my toe, and I've been making some progress on my foot. Nothing fancy about this. It was just a color vote. I'm doing ye old basic vanilla toe-up socks. That's what I like. That's what I wear. It's what I love. These will be shorties because I was washing my socks this week and I discovered I only have 4 pairs of shorties. That seems unacceptable. So we got to make some more shorties. So I made some progress on the first cast on project of the month. You guys believe the podcast is 10 years old and I still don't know how to do this stuff? Crazy pants. Either way, it lives in a wonderful sock sack bag and it's going to travel around and be my in the round basic knitting for the week because everybody needs one of those projects. It is also the thing I made the most progress on, so like don't get your hopes up. Guys, don't get your hopes up. Day 2, we were voting on vests because it is a non-sweater garment month for the crochet community group. Some sort of really long, weird statement to make the title for it. And I decided I wanted to make a vests. I like vests. I look good in vests. Tailored things look good on my frame. I'm very tall. I can carry off the look really well. I look amazing in a men's 3-piece suit. Just throwing it out there. Structure is my friend. So I posted 2 sweater vests. Now, the sock yarn toes and heels and cuffs was a very one-sided vote, like 90% or more in one direction. Like when I say these have been one-sided votes, I'm like, there was one day that was close. Everything else has been very heavily one way or the other on these voting projects. So it came to no shock to me on day 2 when I posted both is the word I'm looking for, both vests and the slipover vest one. So I pulled up the pattern, I read the pattern. The construction is wildly different than anything else I've crocheted before. It is worked side to side, so you're working from the right underarm or the left underarm, depending if you crochet to the right or crochet to the left. I'm sorry. With all the windows open, I'm sneezing extra, but I want the fresh air. Blow my nose and hope that helps for a bit. What was I saying? Side to side construction. So I'm a left-handed crocheter, which means I'll be crocheting from the left underside armpit around the back to, so like around the back left, around all the way back to the front, back to the left-hand side. So right now we're working on a back panel situation, which is cool. The other bonus is this is a free pattern, so I can talk about it in detail. It is a weird way to do the counting of rows and how the slip stitches are done. So the slip stitches or the ribbing is done with a slip stitch through the back loop on one side and a yarn over slip stitch through the back loop on the other side. So right side slip stitches, wrong side, what it would be listed as an SLYO slip stitch, which means you're yarning over, going through the back loop, yarning over and then pulling that yarn through and then just pulling through the loops on your hook as though it was a slip stitch. You've just got that yarn over there. So it's sort of like a slip stitch half double crochet situation. It's really weird. It's not a hard stitch. It's just my brain wants to slip stitch, so I have to remember to do the yarn over part. So there's been a lot of back headset. Thanks. Okay. I really, really stop alerting me. Gosh, I swear. So that was interesting. I read through the pattern. I'm kind of sure what I'm doing. I'm not 100% positive, but we're winging it and we're going to see what happens. I'm using 2 strands of sport weight yarn held double to get up towards that worsted weight for the vest. I am not expecting to wear this vest in the summer. It is a thicker vest, so it will not go well. And that would be bad. So I don't want to do that. Now I'm paranoid and I need to check my sound. Because of course I need to double check things. NVDA, stop talking to me. Really don't. Stop. Stop talking. NVDA, you're killing me. Killing me. It's killing me. It's killing me. So we got a row. It's from the top of my back to, I don't know what this bottom piece is. I think it might be the ribbing at the bottom. I'm not sure. We're trusting the pattern and we're going with it. So the other really weird thing about this pattern that has thrown me for a bit of a loop is it wants you to count your rows. But a row in this pattern is 2 rows in every other pattern I've ever made. So as far as the pattern's concerned, I'm still working row 1. So I don't know how well this is going. I might end up ripping this and making a different size. I have no idea at this point. We're just going to practice and go with it. Now that I know my sound is working, I'm going to turn myself off again. Otherwise, I will be hearing myself the whole time and it'll be a problem. Stop. Okay, so that's fine. It's fine. It's not the end of the world, but we're winging it. This is a shot in the dark. I am not 100% sure. I know what I'm doing. So stay tuned. This is hit experimental phase. Kind of hardcore. I am getting gauge as per the gauge swatch, but I still might end up making a couple of adjustments for size for fit. I'm just not going to know till I've done some more rows, which isn't the end of the world, as doing more rows lets me practice what I'm working on and work from there. So at the moment, I'm a cast on edge and I am half of row 1. Guys, I don't know what's going on. I read the pattern. I sort of understand what it is it's trying to make me do, but I'm not 100% sure yet. So we'll see. We're using some Briggs and Little. We're using some white. Will it stay white when it's finished? I don't know. I might dye it. We'll see. I might end up going down a hook size. I might end up changing the size that I'm making. It is crazy. I have no idea how that's going to work out. But it is on the needles. I had to read the pattern twice, and I'm still not 100% sure. So when it says it's a bit more of an advanced pattern, she's not lying to us. She's not lying to us. And I have to throw out everything I know about crochet. And I mean, to be fair, at the start of the pattern, she says, throw out everything you know about crochet. This is wildly different. Wasn't lying. Wildly different. Thoroughly enthused by the experiment, though. Either way, the librarian's vest didn't win. It's kind of sad to see that didn't win. Might cash that on just because I really like that vest too. And if it's a bit more of a regular pattern, it might be easier for me to manage. This is fine. The next day, we had to choose between the sparkle cardigan and the serenity top. Now, these are old patterns from my library. They're from Oh Hello Kitty. So you understand what shape and style you're looking at. Hoki does a lot of very slim fits, classic lines. She doesn't tend to stray too far from that. They look great on her. That's a kind of style that looks really good on me. And I have owned both of those patterns since, a while. We're going to go with a while. So I pulled them out, took a look at them, and I posted them. Again, we were overwhelmingly in favor of the sparkle cardigan. So the Serenity top got set to the side, and I read the sparkle cardigan instructions. Always step 1, read the pattern, right? Oh, Melanie. Oh, hi, Jude. Oh, Jude. 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 I understand tech gremlins. Boy, do I understand tech gremlins. Don't worry about it. Work on it when you can. Deal with it when it's possible. And remember, computers are exceedingly expensive right now because all of the computer chips are being used to build garbage for AI. So do not pitch your computer out the window. You cannot afford to replace it. Don't do it. I know it's tempting. Just walk away and have a cup of tea and treat yourself to a brownie. It's just, I've had several of those moments myself this week, as one does when one deals with computers for a living. I am not worried. I know that you're working on it. I don't, what does Stephen West say? Don't stress the mess, just say yes. Like, I don't worry about it. Like, life's gonna happen. We'll get there when we get there. It's not the end of the world. Hi, what is that? Oh, I don't, I'm gonna say hi. I do not know
what NVDA is reading to me, so I'm not sure how your like username is spread out. Sometimes the screen reader does fine, sometimes it does not do fine. In this case, my love, it doesn't like your username. Why? I don't know. It also can't say the word battlefield. Don't worry about it. It's all words. All right. Sparkle cardigan is a simple texture. Not too bad. I have not gauge swatched for it. I was having trouble picking yarns, so I decided to read the pattern, let it go, and wait till Saturday because, as we all know, our favorite indie dyer here in this little corner of the internet was coming to the apothecary. That's us. That's where we are. We're in the apothecary. And she was coming, Erin. And I was like, Erin, I need rescue. And Erin being Erin was like, yeah, absolutely. Came in here, we discussed colors, we talked about different sorts of things, and we picked a color. Now I have several sweater quantities, and I'm happy that I've moved to purchasing sweater quantities, whether I have a sweater plan for it or not. It has absolutely opened up a lot of variability for me, which is great. Hi, Jen. How are you doing today? We picked a color. Let me grab it. Of course, everything's on the floor because that's just where it goes. Can't reach too far. Oh, God. All right. Grabbed a crochet bag. Guys, remember this from last year? This is the modern granny boho bag. Anyway, this was fun to crochet. I really liked it. That was the month of like August where it was like I crocheted a bag every week for the month. So that was a crazy month. I have four skeins of Stanos. It's blue. Guys, I have four skeins of blue. Erin told me she was literally here yesterday and telling me the name of these things. God dang it. Strathos? It's a really pretty blue. It looks really good next to my face. Let's go with that, shall we? I just hear Erin now correcting me. No, it's pronounced like this. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. I mispronounce stuff all the time on that poor woman. It's going to be my sparkle cardigan. My next step is to wind up a ball of yarn and to swatch in pattern to make sure I get gauge because this pattern requests a swatch in pattern, which I'm going to do. It's totally fine. I'm excited for it. And with this kind of a blue, I think I'm going to go a little cray cray. And I'm going to take a look at some Etsy indie dyer, like Etsy indie button makers and see if I can't find just like a super cute or antique flare kind of button to go on the sparkle cardigan. So I'm really excited about that. Oh, blue is so good. Blue is an excellent color. I will not lose this to my mom because it's real wool. My mom can't wear wool. She really can't. So it's fine. It does mean it's safe. Honestly, guys, what I'm hoping I can do is I once ran across an I know I'm going to try to find an Etsy seller once I've left the page. Feel free to just start laughing at me right now. We all know that's absolutely freaking impossible. But she makes buttons out of broken pieces of porcelain pottery shards that are just abandoned and in garbage dumps and stuff. So it's a reclaimed item or broken teacups, and that, and she makes really cute buttons out of them. I think that's what I want. I either want some of the reclaimed ones or I want some of the ones where she's taken the pattern, vintage porcelain patterns, and she's put them on new buttons, like one of the two. I'm gonna have to figure out which one's more cost effective for me. But the lady's in England, so like if I'm buying buttons, I'm gonna see if I can find enough buttons from her to justify the $50 billion shipping fee, which is, less than shipping from America, but still not cheap. So we'll work on that. However, it's four skeins and it's not even swatched. I've got time to find buttons. What I don't want is wooden buttons or leather buttons. And the majority of the handmade buttons around here are leather or wood. While beautiful handmade buttons aren't going to work for the sparkle cardigan. So, have I swatched? No, no, I did not swatch. Saturday was really busy. I visited with Erin, and then I did the check-in with Louise. Poor Louise was so tired. And then I went immediately to D&D, and then I went immediately to bed because I was tired at the end of my day. So I got to try to swatch today if I can. Oh, yes. It's fingering weight. We're going to be here for a hot second. I have a huge stack of worsted weight sweaters that I have a very narrow window to wear.
I have no finished DK weight sweaters, which would be a slightly wider window for wear, but the biggest window is fingering weight sweaters. And I know that because it is the same thickness idea as my commercial sweaters. So I need to get in the habit of casting on fingering weight sweaters first and consistently and working on them consistently because I know I can get them done in a reasonable time frame if I don't muck about too much. And those are the ones I'm going to wear the most. So, hey, Melanie. Wow, that would be fun. Melanie, that would be amazing. If you find it, yeah, drop us a link because I would absolutely be down to making my own buttons and learning how. Now, I know how to do the fabric covered ones, but I don't have the kit like to do that, right? But I would make stuff buttons. I know how to sew my own I like hole. It's got a word. My mom's now also yelling at the screen. Aaron and my mom keeping me honest about my lack of English since I don't even know when at this point. I can hand sew this it's got a fancy term. The space where buttons go on sewn garments. It's got a fancy word. I don't remember what it is. I can hand sew those. I don't hand sew my own buttons, though I do need to learn how for the historical garments. But I definitely enjoy a button. So, as we've got a ways to wait before we get to buttons, let's keep trucking. We discussed a bit ago about doing some more sewing projects. I tend to just do my sewing projects off. It's a craft, it's what I do, but we've been so focused on knitting for so long. The widening out to be more of a crafting podcast has been new. Like you guys have been with me. This is a generally sort of new idea. So one of my posts, we rebelled this week, and I was like, what am I going to work on next for the next sewing project? I posted two fabrics. One was a woven fabric for a new skirt, and the other was a stretchy fabric for a pair of dressy, stretchy capris. Oh my God, do you guys want me to sew pants or what? Sweet Mary Mother of Joseph, you picked the stretchy fabric. Bonus, I don't need to iron that fabric. It is a rayon, super plastic, stretchy knit and all stretch in all directions kind of fabric. So that helps. I do have it. I do have the old capris that have dyed that I'll be pulling the pattern from. So I'm actually going to take the old capris that are dying. I'm going to lay them out. I'm going to make pattern paper pieces for it. And then I will take those pattern paper pieces and I will mark them. And then I will cut out from the new knit fabric for the new capris. I am going to take photos of it so I can do some blog posts for everybody, and I am going to do a little video for it. So we are going to start making sewing content for the podcast. So that's going to be new for the channel this year, guys. Bear with me while I figure out angles and lighting and what I like and what I don't like when I'm making it, but that is something that we're working on. I'm going to put some capris on the sewing table? Like, okay, we need a catchphrase. We need a catchphrase. What are we gonna do with me, guys? I need catchphrases and all sorts of things. I'm still gonna make the skirt, mostly because I don't want to put the fabric back in the closet. I have a small walk-in closet. It is just fabric. It's fabric. On the floor is my suitcases and my summer stuff, so my fans and my AC unit. And then on top of my fans and my AC unit and my suitcase is as tall as I am and a bit taller packages of stuffing from when I ripped apart my couch a couple of years ago and turned it into a chair. So we do have some sewing projects on the list this year. I want to get that closet under control, not because I want to have less sewing fabric. It's the same way as I don't want less knitting. I just want to make space to put new stuff in. So we continue. Oh, a good pajama pant pattern is hard to find. I'm comfortable enough with sewing that I have done with sewing for years what I'm just learning to do with knitting and crochet now, which is work without a pattern. But I've been taking old commercial garments, and because I am that comfortable with sewing, and I don't know if you are, I've been turning old garments into pattern pieces so that I can just remake the thing that I liked and that I wore out in the first place, which is what I'm doing with the yoga capris. I might widen the leg a little bit so I get more of a like a gocho pant situation, but that's just due to the nature of the fabric I'll be working in. However, yeah, I would love to find a nice, I have a pattern I haven't pulled out or cut out. I've had it for years in the original tissue paper, just sitting in its packet, waiting for me to get around to it. That has nightgown, pants, nightshirt, and I think it's like two different types of nightshirts and a house coat. Not interested in the house coat. Honest, ladies and gents, I want to make a 19th century men's dressing jacket for like wearing around the house. And they tend to be wild and crazy, and sometimes they're English paper pieced. So like what I want is way out there. So like I'm not interested in that. But I do need to cut that tissue paper out at some point because I do want to try their shorts and pants because I don't have to lengthen, well, I have to lengthen shorts. I have to lengthen everything. But I might be able to make pajama pants that are actually like pants. I buy pajama pants, I cut off 2 inches, I rehem them, and I have capris. That is how long my legs are. It's fine. And the dresses and stuff, so I do want to try making some of that. But I don't know if it's a good pattern or not because I haven't tried it yet, right? So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. And we'll go from there. But what I do have prepped and ready to go is some nice fabric for a new skirt, which will have pockets. They will have 18th century or 19th century walking skirt pockets, which means I can make a whole bottle of wine disappear per pocket. And because it's a woven fabric, it won't stretch out and pull funny. And we're going to make a pair of super stretchy, comfy yoga capris. I have enough of that yoga capri fabric. I may actually even also get a dress out of it. So we'll see how far that fabric goes. The skirt fabric is enough for a skirt. That's all she wrote. So, however, capris first, and I am going to try to record as much of it as possible for you guys so we can start seeing sewing content. And I'm hoping I can kind of corral the verbal carnage I throw at your faces every week on a podcast into something coherent so that maybe it's helpful for other people who are expanding out into sewing skills. No promises. We've watched me try to be coherent and succinct before. It doesn't work, but I keep trying. And if you're wondering, yes, I never had a problem with minimum word requirements in essays for university either. Was never. They don't link to the pattern. What? What is the point if you don't link to the pattern? That's like holding an argument and making an opinion and not linking your sources. Gross. Gross. I'd complain. If you're going to make an opinion, link your sources. If you're going to talk about a pattern, link your pattern. Or at the very least, tell people how to find it, right? Like, I give you guys the names of the patterns and the designers when I remember, so you can go find them on Ravelry. In the case of the cast-ons, I'm not super worried because I've listed the pattern title spelled correctly on each of the posts. And I'm going to do a blog post where I'm going to link all of the options for everything once we're done. We've got a couple more days to go for voting. All right. What else do I got left? Do I need a double needle? No, I'm going to use the standard zigzag, and I'm just going to zigzag twice. So I will do a wide stitch or a long length stitch zigzag, and then I will simply run over my seams a second time with the zigzag again, because I'm not going to bother with any inside trimmings, not with a knit fabric that doesn't fray. It'll curl in and it'll be fine. But no, I'm not. I'm not going to do a double needle. I'm just going to if I had a serger, I would just zip that through the serger, but I do not have a serger, so double zigzag for me I find works great. On the bottom hem, I'm going to do the zigzag to stabilize it, and then I will flip up the hems on the inside, and then I will just hand whip stitch the hems down so that they're an invisible hem at the bottom. There's some sewing terminology for you guys. It's also going to have a waistband with an elastic, because I cannot begin to describe to you people how much I hate inserting zippers. No, I can. I would rather do 2x2 rib than insert a zipper. I, what's something that's even worse than 2x2 ribbing? I would rather go to a birthday party at a Mexican restaurant than insert an invisible zipper. There's 2 levels of zipper difficulty. I don't like either of them. Oh God. You don't. Etsy, you can't. You can't trust Etsy anymore. There's so much AI slop out there, you can't. Like you're stuck buying from the big four pattern designers, or you have to be able to hunt backwards to an indie person who's taken their stuff off Etsy and is either on Shopify or is on their own website. Like it is insane. Insane how many terrible AI patterns are out there. Terrible. I've gotten to the point where I'm sticking with Ravelry and I'm trying to stick to people I've either seen before or have other published patterns. It's atrocious. The AI stuff is getting out of hand. Out of hand. And to be fair, I was yelling with AI when we started this podcast. The whole intro section is just me arguing with the AI wanting to work and me wanting the AI to just go in a corner and die. Because that's how that works. All right, next vote day. I don't remember what number we're on anymore. It's fine, whatever. We'll run out of vote days here in a hot second. We had 2 crop tops. We had the My Boy Lollipop and we had the Little Yellow Sweater. Now, the LYS is by Andrea Mallory. Hot take, back when she designed patterns that were interesting, I have not enjoyed any of her patterns in a long time. My Boy Lollipop is by Nancy Rishi. She's new to me. I don't own anything by her. It has been in my wish list bucket for a hot minute, but I was like, crop tops, they can go face to face, right? Like, they're the same nature. Now, I thought this might be a bit more of a difficult vote. We all know I wear dresses. We all know I wear tank tops and capris. We all know I wear skirts. And we all know that I'm nearly 6 feet tall. I'm just a couple inches shy. So we all know I've got the height to carry a crop top because I've still got lots of body left. Right up there with women who are amazingly curvy. Crop tops look great. I have no butt. I have no butt. There's no butts. It is all boobs and then legs. That's it. That's all I am. And that's fine. That is my type. Also, boy, do I rock a Regency dress. That's totally fine. So a very specific style of dress, a very specific style of skirt, very specific length and length of capri, and a very specific length of crop top look good on me. And that's fine. That fits my frame, it fits my body, it fits my lifestyle and the wardrobe I choose to have. The Little Yellow Sweater and the My Boy Lollipop are easily adjustable so that they end at the smallest part of my, I guess, torso? We'll go with torso, which is usually just under the girls. Totally fine. My Boy Lollipop is extreme negative ease, so she befitted the excellent French kiss. The Wood Woes is supposed to have positive ease. I wear it at a negative ease because I like a fitted sweater. The Little Yellow Sweater is an open front cardigan. Super cute. Guys, the vote was so close. I needed a tiebreaker. I needed a tiebreaker. So once again, I opened up the door on Saturday. Poor Erin was lugging stuff up the stairs, and I looked at her and I said, I need a tiebreaker vote. And she's like, I'm on it. What am I voting for? Came into the computer room, showed her, and she voted My Boy Lollipop. Why? Not because she didn't like the Little Yellow Sweater. There was a bit of a debate. It took us a while to get there. But because I've never worked with a Nancy Rishi pattern before, and it is an old enough pattern, we're not worried about it being AI garbage. It's like, okay, so My Boy Lollipop. Excellent. And what you may not know, because it's not generally visible on screen, is that I have a 6 skein fade set from, hold me back if you've never heard this before, Fireweed Fiber Co. Shocking. In a beautiful bluey green colorway fade. 6 skeins. That means it's one dress or one skirt or a sweater plus a shawl or something, or 2 crop tops. Because again, it's not a full body, it's not a full length. Even if it's full sleeves, I only need 3 skeins. Unless it's like insanely cabled, and neither of these are. So I grabbed that 6 pack now and I wound up and I started with a basic stockinette swatch because I have to stress. Even though I work in Erin's yarn all the time, I still swatch. It's important, and no, it is not fun. It is one of them boring prep things you got to do. So I swatched, and My Boy Lollipop won. So we're going to use. Pardon the crinkle. I left it in the bag so it would stay in order. We're going to use the bottom 3 for My Boy Lollipop. For my boy lollipop. So the darkest color will be closest to me and the lightest color will be farther away down because I do not care if we make the girls look larger. They're massive. A turtleneck does not make them smaller. Baggy sweaters doesn't make them look smaller. I give up. It's fine. So I am comfortable with my body. It is what it is. And the top three skeins that'll be left, I will make the little yellow sweater later with. So the top first skein I pulled out because it was just the first skein I pulled out. We've swatched. We're good to go. The swatch is in the bag. The needles are in the bag. This is going back in the bag. And I'm going to cast on with, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top three skeins and elastic them together and leave them in the bag. And then I will make the My Boy Lollipop out of this. It's going to work because it is a capped sleeve crop. So it doesn't have long sleeves. I will make the sleeves longer than in pattern. I don't know if I'll go like to a full elbow length or not because that's pretty much like the length of the sweater. But the tiny little baby cap sleeve is going to get lengthened down a bit. Mostly because I cuts my arm off to like a 90-10 ratio, and that looks weird. So we're gonna have to lengthen the sleeve a little bit. Not a lot, but a little, which is doable. A lot of people don't swatch. I am terribly uncomfortable not swatching. It also means I have a lot of, ooh, it's actually in my bag because I haven't dealt with it yet. It means I'm slowly and surely over the years collecting a bunch of swatches. When I'm doing a fingering weight swatch, it's 20 stitches wide. That tends to give me the most accurate information that I need to know. But I'm starting to collect a lot of these. And this is good because at some point, I'm going to have enough of these random swatches. They literally sit in a box right now to just make a blanket. And then I can make a memory blanket. So I am putting these away so that future Jocelyn can pull these out and seam them together and make a memory blanket, either like a couch size or a bed size, probably a couch size. And then I'll have a fun little cute memory blanket of my fingering weight swatches. So I have long-term plans for my swatches. Also means if I need a swatch, I don't have it for everything because some of my swatches I've had to pull out to get the last of the yarn I need for a project. So not all of them, but it is a bunch of them. So I have a plan for my swatches. The problem was for me was to make sure I was making universally the same size swatch. So I committed to, once I figured out what swatches work best for me, that's the one I've been making. So we'll we'll pull that project out way down the line. Like, and so far down the line, you might as well forget about it because it's going to be that long. However, Discord would like me to know that there's some messages I have to listen to. That gets us through more cast-on stuff. I can't remember if I've forgotten anything at this point. How many cast-ons do we have? We have our socks, our slip over, My Boy Lollipop, the sparkle cardigan. What am I forgetting? Oh, my capris. That's 6. 7 was yesterday. And I'm beginning to think y'all hate me. And part of me goes, I did this to myself. In overwhelming voting numbers, everyone across Instagram and YouTube has decided that my next cast on is going to be a pair of 18th century stockings. Cool, thanks guys. The alternative was a cardigan called the Sugar Plum Cardigan from the 1940s, I believe. Either I think 30s or 40s, somewhere in there. Or 40s, maybe 40s or 50s. It might be 40s or 50s. And I was like, this will be fun. And by overwhelming, I think like 2 people voted for the cardigan. Everybody else voted for stockings. So like we were hardcore stockings all the way. So I have opened up to the pattern for the stockings. I have read through the initial stocking pattern, which is, by the way, done by your own physical measurements. And it is done to a specific code. And I have now read through 2 or 3 different pages to make sure we're doing this correctly. And now that I've read it and I've read some of the background research for it, I am adding complexity to myself by flipping the instructions to be toe up instead of knee down. Mostly because I am more comfortable in toe up. So I'm going to do it that way. I do have to make accommodations for the heel because I will not be doing a standard heel flap and gusset. I find them very difficult and inaccessible to work in, given that you have to be able to see to pick up the right stitches. So I am making some modifications to the pattern that way, but we are sticking to the core of the 18th century stocking. So we're going to be working stockinette toe up. We're going to put the faux seam in all the way up the back of the leg, and I will be doing the garter top. I'm going to have to make garter ties. They won't stay up on their own otherwise. So I will sew myself some garter ties when we get closer to be done. But we've got a lot of leg to knit and a lot of foot to knit. So the 18th century stockings are going to get wound and swatched, and then we're going to, well, do I want to swatch for socks? I don't think so. I think we'll just wind up and we'll get going. We're going on sock needles. It's going to be 50 million stitches, but it'll look good when it's done. The stocking people are wrong also. Or sorry, Erin. Don't worry. I like the sugar plum cardigan. It is something I want to make. So that will happen at some point. The button videos in Discord. Thank you, Melanie. However, the stocking people won. So I need to go find some stocking yarn. And I'm going to need probably 3 skeins. I'm going to assume an over the knee stocking is going to be more than 1 skein of yarn for me. So I'm going to find a 3 skein collection somewhere in my stash. And that'll be the one I use. So whatever color I find, that's how that's going to work. Oh, though maybe I should use some of that yarn from yesterday that we were sorting. That would be a good idea. That would be a good idea. But that's where we got to. Okay, before we talk about today's vote, because there's some debate on that. Yesterday night, we did a very quick check-in. Poor Louise was exhausted. And we wrapped up the February sweater stuff, and we talked about what we're going to work on this month. Now, I said with all the cast-ons that I was doing, they're all medium-sized projects to smaller projects. I needed to put some work in on my blankets. They're sitting here, they're languishing. I wanted to put some work on it. So the vote was for an FO or a progress. The progress would have been my giant marled squares, would have been putting them together to make larger strips to start working towards a completed blanket. The finish would be finishing the Battenberg blanket. Now, I did pull, oh my God, why are you so far over there? That's where I dumped it. I did pull the last big square I have put together. I've got some ends to weave in, apparently. Or I have, yeah, that's actually coming apart. Cool. I have some repair to do, apparently. Once I've done the repair, I have apparently just discovered. This is the last of the make a square a certain size and then seam the squares together. The other squares are seamed together, and I draped them over my bed and I took a photo, and we're covering, including drape, down the end of the bed for the mattress and down the side of the bed for the mattress. So we go from the bottom of a mattress on one side of a queen size bed to the bottom of the mattress on the other side of a queen size bedspread. That is the width I like my bedspreads at, so that 2 people can sleep under that blanket and nobody has that stupid little ear gap hole thing that causes problems. I also make my blankets drape to the bottom of the mattress at the bottom of the bed and go to the top of the bed because I am not small. And I like to be able to tuck my blanket under my feet sometimes. And I can't do that if it's a standard commercial blanket, because if I do that, it's not tall enough to curl under with my shoulder up to my neck. And do I stay that way? No, I get too hot and I melt to death and everything gets pulled apart. But that's not the point. The point is, that's how I like the look of my bedspreads. So I have 2/3, approximately, of a fully finished bed. It's seamed, it's sewn, it's there, it lays on the bed, it drapes the length I want it to. So I was like, a finish, which means I'm going to be attaching this square once I fix this hole I've now found. And then I need to make more squares. I am out of pre-made squares. So I need to add at least, I think it's 3 more squares of length on the one side. And I have at least a whole torso length of squares to add at the top. If not more, I won't know for sure till I obviously attach this. So I'm glad you liked that sneak peek. I took a photo for proof at the end of the month, and now it goes away and it's my secret project till the end of the month. And we'll see if the first weekend of April, if I can't pull out a finished blanket. That includes the edging, by the way. So wish me luck. I have not picked any small goals at all this month. I think I took the lesson from February and learned it real hard. All right, I'm gonna take a sip of tea. Then we've got today's voting and prize talk, and then we are done for the day, which is good. I'm assuming you guys probably have stuff you need to go do today. We have, I haven't posted the voting for the day. Today's the 8th. We've got the 9th. Unshockingly, on the 10th, which is Tuesday, which is my actual birthday, we'll be voting on a Halloween thing on my birthday, because obviously. And I know what I want to do for the 9th. Today was the waffle day. And I'm sitting here thinking it should be something accessory style or something maybe small. We've been casting a lot of big projects. But I gotta be honest with myself. What I want to make right now is garments. If we were talking like the first year of the podcast, I was shawls. Shawls and mittens. That's all I wanted to work on. So I either need to post two top options today or two fingerless mitten options today. And I don't know which. I've been waffling on it all morning. I got a tank top and a t-shirt option, or I've got a fingerless mitten option versus a fingerless mitten option for the postings for today. And I wanted to ask you guys, because I'm not 100% sure. I think we should go with like the tank top t-shirt option because we're getting into summer, which I would be more inclined to work on that than I would be for mittens or anything else because mittens, we're getting out of winter. We've got months and months and months and months of this summer to live through before we get back to winter. So I'm like, maybe we do the tank top. They're both striped. One's a striped tank top, and the other one's the Dingley Dell, which is a striped t-shirt. So I was like, I'll ask. I'll ask and see what you guys think. See, fingerless mittens. It's not as easy as it sounds because they're both things I wear. Both things I wear. So I was like, we'll ask. We'll go from there. Or do I mix it up? Do I do a tank top and versus the fingerless mittens? Instead of sticking close to it, do I go crazy and just see what happens? I was like, that's an option too. Good post, good post. I'm not going to take a sip. How are you guys' weekend going? Everyone's got projects they're working on? Everybody survived the time change? My cat was happy with the time change. Oh. The fingerless mittens are great for keeping your wrists warm and keeping the base of your hand warm. Um, and I know if you type a lot, you can do a lot of damage in through here. Handcrafting, like if you live, you'll do damage in through here. Mine is a lot of it's due to my cane, so my bones ache real fast if they get chilled at all in my wrist, which is a pain in the butt. And the fingerless aspect of it just lets me keep it from getting too hot, so then I don't get spitzy hands, which is kind of gross. So I do love a pair of fingerless mittens. There's that. There's that. What am I doing? Tank top. Okay. You know what? I will post the fingerless mittens and the tank top, and we'll do the vote on that. And I will do that right after the podcast is done. So that can go up and people can vote on that. Oh, we're so close. After the 10th, I'm going to do a post on the 11th for everybody so everybody can see all the winners for the 10 days of cast song. On the 15th of the month, we're going to do a little in-depth video where we talk about the details for the prizes this month. So if everyone has notes, if you are a Patreon member at any tier level, you are automatically entered into the prizes for the end of the month. We've got several for Patreon. We've got a prize for YouTube members. So if you're a YouTube member, that's also going to happen. And we're going to do a draw for a free digital pattern download for any YouTube member and the Instagram community. So those ones are going to come with instructions. it'll be commenting on that specific video. So it won't be complex or any of that nonsense, tag five friends garbage. So that'll be fine. But that stuff's going to go out on the 15th through the 20th of the month, detail wise for everybody. So if you're a Patreon member, watch your posts. YouTube members, you will see a YouTube short that's for you and for you alone. It's not going to go out to anybody else. And then when we do the celebratory anniversary prize draw one, that'll be a very specific window and a very specific video and a very specific Instagram post. So those are going to come towards the end of the month for everybody. It also gives people a chance to think about where they're sitting and what's going on. We do have a couple of things upcoming. The Patreon e-knit-in, the beefy one, once a quarter, all the tiers are invited in for the e-knit, is going to happen on the second last Saturday of the month, as it happens on the second last Saturday of the month. So if you are a Patreon member, don't forget to hop on to the Discord Saturday at noon Manitoba time and jump into the general chat and bring your presents, projects, fun stuff, snacks, life drama stories. We are there for it. That's what the group and the community is for. And I think that's it. I don't think we have anything else going on at the moment. I'm working on revamping the Facebook stuff, so we will have a Facebook entry portal way section. It has been interesting because I'm losing the war to the tech gremlins, as I usually do. I have been working on setting up a Ko-Fi webpage location as an alternative to Ravelry to sell my patterns, as well as to write and make blog posts and to link videos and stuff too. So I'm trying to diversify the podcast a little bit so it's a little bit easier to find and it's a little bit easier on some people because I know not everybody uses everything and not everything works for everyone. So I'm trying to sort of spread the love that way if I can. So you do what you can. I hope you guys are doing well. We got to decide on plans for the weeks. I got stockings to figure out today. We'll have the winner for Sunday, the winner for Monday, and the winner for Tuesday to sort out. But I think what I need to do is sort of delve into the stash and try to find a whip to work on outside of my sock to sort of start plugging away at that just to get those to a point where I can get some finishes off my plate just to give us some room. I'm going to run out of needles shortly. So I think I'm going to say choose your own adventure sweater this week because I'm going to say it every week till it actually happens. And I'm going to go with maybe I go try to find a shawl. There are no shawl casts on. So like maybe it'll be nice to work on a shawl. I haven't been in like a super shawl mood, so like maybe a shawl. Maybe I pick up the Iskald sweater. That's a cast on in 2 rows. Like that could use some love. That could use some love. Maybe. Oh, maybe I work on the warm hug shawl. That's a nice easy repeat. And it's in a bulky yarn, so like we could garner a quick FO on that one. Do a little warm hug work this week before it gets too hot because we're into double digits and I don't want to work on a bulky weight shawl anymore. Ooh, pardon my burps. Ooh. So, mm, ooh, Melanie, what are you gonna do with your 1 week before you go back to work? Also, yay for going back on St. Patty's Day. That'll be fun. Is it St. Patrick's Day the 17th or is it the 14th? It's after my birthday. I don't remember. Everyone gets excited. We all wear green. Some about beer. I don't pay that much attention to it anymore. It used to mean more when I was younger. It doesn't mean so much to me now. To be fair, today's International Women's Day, so I don't pay attention to a lot of things. I think that's a good idea. Do some baking today. Post for the last vote. I think putter with an old whip and do my swatching for the sparkle cardigan. I think that'll be good for today. Ooh, the Felix cardigan. That'll be nice to have finished. Oh, that'll be really good. That'll be really good. Especially like a new cardigan. 17th? Okay, I never remember. It's the my only reference point for St. Patrick's Day is in Stardew Valley in the spring season on the 17th of spring. You can go get a leprechaun hat down by the river. Because there's a little pot of gold with a hat and gives you a little bit of gold. That's the only part about St. Patrick's Day I care about anymore in reference to my video game I like to play. That's it. That's all I got. All right. For people, if you're doing Sock Madness, bless your souls. You have more cojones than I do. If you've got other bits and bits going on, well done. If you were crafting around the world, you are also doing better than I am. Don't worry about it. We're gonna have to fine tune that for next year, and I'm gonna have to actually seriously participate in my own year-long challenges. That'll be helpful, right? However, until next Sunday, I will officially be older. Hopefully, you've officially had snacks during the week. Wherever your crafting takes you, whether it's 10 new cast-ons or pulling out an old whip. I hope you guys do well this week. Enjoy the spring if it's your time of year. If, like me, you're a fall-winter human, welcome to hibernation. Make sure everything's all locked down and your cleaning's done for the year. Because you're gonna want some extra naps. Oh, yeah. Are you on the edge stitch already? Wow, oh right, because you were talking last night, Nikki, and you were saying you were already up to your shoulder area, right? Because that's the bottom up bad boy. Oh, it's gonna look so good when it's done. I love the coffee shop cardigan and the progress I've made on it. I just haven't wanted to pick it up and work on it. Does that make sense? At some point, I'm gonna be like, dude, and I'm just gonna fly through it, but we're not there right now. Why? Who knows? However, until next week, I will see you guys on the internets, on the Instagrams, on the YouTubes. Don't forget to vote. Keep your eyes out for the prizes. And I will say that I'm Jocelyn. This is the Northern Knits Podcast. And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to craft. Still don't know how to get out of these Zoom calls. Where's my button? Does anybody know?